Hi, welcome back to the channel, Lex Kane's TV and movie reviews. Today I'm just going to do another um, look at the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. This time look at some of the screenshots that I've picked out. Um, the first screenshot here is our Spider-Man from our universe in No Way Home. Tom Holland's Spider-Man. As you can see in the scene, you can see some kind of um, there's been a big action scene where some cars have been turned over. People look like people have been run away from something. And it says caution, road work ahead in the scene. And there's been some cones that have been damaged in the scene. And I think that scene is where we see William Defoe's Green Goblin appear. I think that's the scene there with our Spider-Man. And then if we go to the next scene, this was Iron Man's bodyguard, and now he's in the Spider-Man universe, in Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe. I think this is the scene where either he's seen something. I mean, there's looks like the SWAT team in the background, but it looks like he's seen something because in one of the latter scenes, there's either Sandman or it's the Lizard, or it could be Mysterio because we don't know if Mysterio is dead because with Mysterio could come back now because it's been rumored it could be the Sinister Six in this film. Um, it's be amazing because I think it's only 2.5 hours the film, but it might be it could be slightly a bit longer because of the impact of the whole film. I think basically it's like part one because the next film we're gonna get is Doctor Strange, the multiverse multiverse multi-universe of madness, or multiverse of madness called. That's going to be the next film. So this is going to be like a follow-up. We don't know if Tom Holland's going to be in this one. We don't know yet. There has been rumours that Loki will appear in the Doctor Strange sequel. We don't know if he's got an end credit scene in this film or is he going to cameo later on because this is all happening at the same time. I I think because if you watch Loki, I think it's happening the same time as Spider-Man and Doctor Strange are in that setting where things go wrong with the trying to erase people's minds of him being Spider-Man, and something goes wrong with that scene, and you see the multiverse happen, and that could link up to the actual same time line and event at the exact moment where Loki and um, Lady Loki meet. We don't know his name until the end of the episode of Loki, Crane the Conqueror. So it could be that's where the link up is. Could we see Crane the Conqueror do a cameo? He is going to be the major villain, main villain for the Marvel universe, and they all said he thought Thanos was the big boy and the real big villain in this. But Crane the Conqueror, if you kill him, you come back because there's multiple versions of him. So, and the next scene, here we go. A bit further. There we go. As you can see, there's Green Goblin's Pumpkin Bomb, and I think that scene links up to where our Peter Parker wears the Iron Spider suit, which Iron Man designed for him, which is now an upgraded version. Because I think our Peter Parker is a bit of an inventor now. So this scene links up, as you can see. You see all the debris from the cones and the cars and all the smoke. That all links up to that scene with Green Goblin. So the Green Goblin from the Tobey Maguire universe is going to meet our Spider-Man from our universe, which will be a very interesting thing because that'll be the first time we ever fought a Green Goblin. Will Tom Holland get his own version of the Green Goblin in his universe, but get a taste of the Green Goblin from the Tobey Maguire universe, which would be kind of interesting, really. The next scene, moving on. That's the explosion, and I think if you see, if you go back there, it's quite quick. This actually. Bear with me a minute. I'll just try and find. So there's the smoke that's come from the glide. I think that's where the glider has the Green Goblin and pumpkins come out. I think that's where that's what's from that scene there. Because if you remember the original Spider-Man trilogy, that Green Goblin's glider had pumpkin bombs coming out, even though he could take one out and throw it. Sometimes they would come out from the bottom and shoot, and have smoke coming and debris coming everywhere. So it reminds me of the scene, even though it's not in Times Square where they did it in the original one. They're now doing it on the actual New York motorway, the motorway, and you can see George Washington's Bridge, and you can see New Jersey there and all that, and Houston Parkway. So this is going to be an epic scene because Green Goblin now is going to fight on the on the New York motorway on the border of the George Washington Bridge and Houston Parkway, which is going to be kind of interesting to see actually. So we move on slowly. If I can get the scene. There we go. Now this has been rumoured to be Miles Morales' mum, because what they're saying is now there could be another Spider-Man, a fourth Spider-Man if it's been rumoured, because there's the Miles Morales Spider-Man, and there's been different stories about the Miles Morales Spider-Man. Why am I saying Superman? Spider-Man, because he's from a parallel universe, and some comic book versions of Spider-Man, he lives in his universe. So, is it a Miles Morales from a multiverse, or a Miles Morales from our universe? We don't know yet, because there was some talk about that in the first Spider-Man film of Tom Holland's Spider-Man Homecoming. But we don't know if it's going to be a different Miles Morales. Now, this scene here, it's very clever how they've done it, how they've edited together. But this is the Doc Ock from the Maguire universe, and they made it look like he's meeting Tom Holland Spider-Man, our Spider-Man from our universe, but it's not. The way it's been edited is very cleverly put together in the edit suite, when they've edited together, and a lot of fans have been saying the same thing. I don't know if all fans agree, but I think when he says "Hello, Peter," you'll see in a minute when I put the pause on the scene here now. Here we go. when he says hello, Peter, he's not saying a hello to the Tom Holland Spider-Man. He's saying hello to the Tobey Maguire version of Spider-Man. And the rumour is Doc Ock hasn't aged a day. And you can see with the de-aging technology, they've made him look similar to what he looked like in Spider-Man 2. I mean, his costume's slightly different, but it still looks the same in bits. The iconic glasses are there. But the rumour is, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is rumoured to be not de-aged. He's like an older Spider-Man, like they did with the animated movie, which was really good. Spider-Man into the Multiverse. Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse, or whatever it was called. But there's going to be a sequel to that one, which I'm looking forward to, because that was a really good cartoon. Some people thought, oh, it's going to be for kids and all that. But it was a really serious story, and I don't want to spoil it, I haven't seen it, but it's nearly 3 years old now, the film. But there's a lot of heart and emotion in that animated film. And because that was a successful film, they were thinking, they probably thought, what can we do for the third Spider-Man movie? And like other fans were saying, it'd be great if they did a live action version of this. Now this dream's come true. Could it be made into 2 movies? Because there's a lot of stuff's going to be in this. I hope it's going to be a longer movie because, I mean, stressing it's just for 2 hours. It's just a lot of stuff in it. It's going to be a good movie. I mean, could they make it 3 hours? Could it be a 3-hour movie? Because there's going to be loads of villains in this. And it's like quick screenshots. I mean, I couldn't pause it because you can't really tell because some scenes have been deliberately edited to look dark in some scenes, so you can't see what's going on. There's definitely Sandman there. There's definitely Electro there. I mean, it's a quick scene, but they've re-enhanced Electro's character to give him a new look, because it's the multiverse. And definitely Green Goblin's in it because the iconic lash there. And the other thing is, will we see Tobey Maguire's Venom in this? Is he the sixth person, or is it being planned all along by someone else? Do you think? Just put your comments below. Do you think Mysterio is not dead? I think myself, he's not dead. I think he's coming back because some of these villains who died are coming back, and the rumor is they've got someone has pulled them out of their timeline from their parallel universe, multiverse, and pulled them at the moment before they die. So not like they're dead and they've been resurrected. No, the moment before they get killed off, before that time where they meet their demise, someone's pulled them out into the Tom Holland universe. Andrew Garfield's villains are going to be in there, Electro and the Lizard. I think the Lizard's in this. Could we see his Green Goblin in it, which was their version of Harry Osborn, which I think his Green Goblin was really good. He had a crazy laugh. The story was in their universe that the Osborns had a curse illness in their family from generations where the skin was a bit like a lizard skin, but it was like an illness they had in the family, like a unique virus, and Harry was going to get it anyway, and when he took the cinema, which made him powerful for a time, that made him more psychotic. And I mean, he survived because we didn't get a third movie, but he survived. And could we see him team up with Tobey Maguire's Green Goblin? Now that would be very impressive to do, because basically it's a sequel for the villains, which is a good idea actually, because the one who played Doc Ock in the Raimi universe, he always hinted that I'd love to come back. I don't think he's dead. And he made like a joke, like, if they made Spider-Man 7, I'll be in it. And if you think of it, they've had Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. They've had Andrew Garfield's first two films. They've had um, Homecoming, Far From Home, and the eighth movie. So he was almost right. He's in the eighth Spider-Man film of all together with all the Spider-Man films. This is the eighth one in the old content of the movies. So he nearly got it right. He said I'll be in Spider-Man 7 if they got me in somehow. He's in the eighth Spider-Man film with a different guy playing Spider-Man from a different universe. And here we got Doc Ock. And I think Spider-Man 2, he was one of the best villains. He had more screen time in the film. I wish Green Goblin had more screen time, because when he became Green Goblin, it was more about Norman Osborn, and then you see him like split personality from the experiment made him into Green Goblin. That was really good. And if we go to the next scene here. Get to it now. We can see in this scene here that Tom Holland's Spider-Man, the way he's been edited, you think he's looking at Doc Ock, but he's not. The people are running away because before the bombing happens and everything's exploded, vehicles and all that by George Washington Bridge into the border of Houston Parkway and New Jersey, and this is the scene of Green Goblin. Basically, this is the Green Goblin scene. Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Wouldn't be good if it, like I said before, wouldn't be good if it was two Green Goblins, because there's a lot of destruction in that scene. For one Green Goblin to do, I mean, he might have advanced stuff now, but it'd be amazing, if in that scene they had Andrew Garfield's Green Goblin and Tobey Maguire's universe of their Green Goblin coming in, working together. But if there's only one, that's great. But if there's two, that'd be amazing to have in the film, because there's a lot of destruction in that film. Could be Rhino, that's in there as well, because they got the Rhino from the Garfield universe. He only had like a slight cameo in the film, the beginning at the end, the beginning of the film and the end of the film. But that'd be amazing if they did that as well. That's all. I'm looking forward to this film. The trailer just wow. I think the next trailer is going to come out probably in November, just in time before the film comes out. And I just hope the film doesn't get delayed and it stays on its Christmas release of December 17th, which is not far in the UK to the week of Christmas, because it just comes in time when everyone's breaking up for the holidays. So that's great. That's great to have that film. And if you notice the suit he's wearing, a lot of people said the same thing. I noticed it straight away when I watched the trailer. It's very Tobey Maguire-ish, the suit, the iconic suit. And it'd be amazing in that scene if all three Spider-Man appear. I mean, all three Spider-Man appear in the scene. And also, I've said this before, probably in this, there was an original Spider-Man in the 1970s, short-lived TV series. He was the actor. The actor was a childhood actor in his childhood. He was in the Sound of Music film, Nicholas Hammond. Now that'd be brilliant, Nicholas Hammond. I mean, maybe a walk-on part. Maybe he does make him have a spider sense for one scene and say, I'm like, in other words, to say, I'm too old to do this now. I just let these guys do it. But it'd be good that you had like a little cameo, because it's the multiverse, he could pull out and walk around, but not do anything because he'd just be a walk-on part for him. Like, it'd be great if he had a walk-on part, it'd be amazing. And it'd be amazing to have him as a cameo in these Marvel films, because he's the original live-action Spider-Man. I mean, it was a shame that they made the series short-lived, but what I saw of it, I mean, they made into movies eventually in the UK. They made into like 3 movies. The stuff I saw, I mean, it's cheesy now, but good cheesy, if you know what I mean, because it's really good how they did it, like the money they made. Release them on Disney Plus. I reckon, remaster them, because they've not been looked after. They're trying to put them under the carpet. The Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man, but release Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man and show it on Disney Plus. I bet you'll get a following. Be a shame if he wasn't in it as a cameo, because he was the original live-action Spider-Man. He was a bit like cross between Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield. Both of them, mixing them together. That was Nicholas Hammond. If you put Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, put them into one person, it's Nicholas Hammond. It's just, when you see him, he's all zany, he's all geeky, and he makes his own inventions, and I mean, it'd be great to have him. I mean, come on, fans, let's see if we can get him on. If he's not in the film, just give him like a mention or something in the film. Or, it'd be good if, you don't know, you never know if they've actually done it, because, you don't know what else surprises this film. I mean, there's been rumoured that, I think it's true, there's been rumoured that Kirsten Dunst is in it. The one who played Emma Stone, she's going to be in it. And the Aunt May from Amazing Spider-Man has been rumoured to be in it, but you just don't know what to expect in this film. I mean, it's going to be good. There's going to be Easter eggs in it. Definitely going to be Easter eggs. There's going to be some. It's a bit more of an anniversary type film. Anniversary of all the Spider-Mans who would be been and gone and come back. And could they do a sequel to this? Because somehow there's going to be some kind of conclusion. But if not, is there going to be a cliffhanger? And will it link up to Doctor Strange? Because we don't know if Tom Holland is in the Doctor Strange movie. Doctor Strange's movie. Could this all be linked up? Because the multiverse is now opened. The X-Men universe will be opened. The Fantastic Four universe, Silver Surfer, and other universes will be open now. So I'm looking forward to this film. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Take care, and see you soon on the next Lex Kings TV reviews. Take care.